I'm often asked, what is blacktop? What exactly makes up blacktop? What blacktop is the technical name for it is asphaltic concrete. We call it asphalt. Most people call it blacktop. What it is in the manufacture of gasoline, they'll take a given quantity of oil and it'll heat it up, and through the distillation process, the most volatile things come off first: naphtha, gasoline, kerosene, diesel, home heating oil. And after all that stuff comes off, what's left over is asphalt. It's referred to as the bottom of the barrel, if you've ever heard that term. And it used to be very inexpensive. It used to be a waste product, pretty much, of the oil industry. But now, like every fraction of oil, it's a precious commodity, and therefore the cost of asphalt has risen proportionately to the cost of gasoline. You know how much more you're paying for gas than you were 10 years ago. Same thing with asphalt. This is an example of asphalt. I think you're a little too far away, but what it is, it's a black liquid that at ambient temperature I'd be able to hold in my hand. We have some on a putty knife that we use to clean our equipment with, and I can just barely depress it with my finger. Now that's kind of important in the compaction of asphalt. We want to make sure it's at least 175 degrees before we compact it, and that's why we're a bit fanatical. We go a little farther than the other guys. We use a heat gun to determine the temperature of the asphalt as we're placing and compacting it. So they take that asphalt cement at the blacktop plant. If you've ever seen that big barrel turning, what that is, it has aggregate in it, like for example the crusher run aggregate I have here, being spun in there with a large flame shot down through the center that heats up and dries the existing aggregate out really well. It must be completely dry before it goes to the other portion of the barrel that the asphalt cement is shot in at about 400 degrees. And then we pull our trucks underneath and load up and go. Many different grades of blacktop. This is the binder asphalt that I described earlier, larger stone, and the fine top asphalt number 7, but there's a bunch of different grades, and a lot of grades expense-wise too. We don't go for the cheap stuff. There's very cheap versions out there. We stick to it and give you the best materials that are available to us.